Welcome back to Yahoo Finance Live. We are seeing the Dow off of its session lows, but still down about 230 points right now. Well, we've got the Nasdaq and the S&P 500 also in the red. This coming despite that retail sales data we got out this morning, pointing to some resilience among consumers in the face of inflation. Overall sales grew by 3.8% in January, and that marked the strongest monthly gain we have seen since March of last year. Let's bring in Nadia, Lovell, UBS Global Wealth Management America Senior Equity Strategist. Nadia, it's good to talk to you today. What are you seeing in the markets right now that you sort of take out the noise from what's happening on the geopolitical front? It feels like the uncertainty around Fed policy is still there, and yet investors are also looking to earnings that have been relatively strong.
Yes, we're seeing some volatility in the market, and we think that the market will remain volatile near term, just given some of the things that are going on in the macro backdrop, as you pointed out. But the economic outlook, I think, still remains very good. When we look at for full year 2022, we still expect economic growth to remain above trend. We're looking for just under 4% this year. And also corporate balance sheets and corporate earnings, as you noted, looks good. Earnings are coming in and well above expectations. We are looking for 12% EPS growth for this year. And the consumer, as we saw evident in consumer retail numbers, those have remained strong. So consumer spending remains strong, and that should be a positive tailwind as well for the economy. So while there might be some continued volatility in the market is facing some headwinds, and there will be some turbulence. We do think that ultimately the market will be able to push through and reach higher levels, particularly as the earnings growth outlook looks good.
Hey, Nadia, Brian Cheung here. Great to have you on the program. So where do you go right now? It seems like a lot of the big growth stocks and perhaps those that are on top of the stack in the S&P 500, those FANG companies, really took a big hit during this earnings season. So do you want to go one direction or the other when it comes to rebalancing your portfolio here?
Absolutely. We continue to favor value over growth because we do think that the growth complex will continue to face some valuation headwind from higher rates. Within value, we would look to a sector like energy. Like this is a sector that we've been overweight for over the last year, coming out of the last couple of earnings season, and even the most recent one has the best upward earnings revision momentum. Obviously, high oil prices is benefiting that sector. We do expect that Brent oil prices will remain between $90 and $100 this year, and that should be an incremental positive for the energy sector. And also beyond that, when you look at energy is still well below its prior peak, and so we do think that there's a little bit more left in the tank despite the strong outperformance that we have seen, and companies are flush with cash and they're returning it to shareholders.
What about some of the high growth names that we have seen get hit? It feels like with earnings coming out, investors are being a little more discriminatory, not sort of looping all the FANG names. For example, we see a name like Airbnb today getting a big pop on the back of the travel rebound too. What are you liking in terms of some of the tech names?
Within tech, again, selectivity is key. We would look for mid-cap tech. We also look particularly in some of those companies that have exposure to cybersecurity. As we noted, geopolitical tension is rising, so that should be an incremental positive for those type of companies. I think beyond that also, we're looking for companies that really have exposure to some of those circular growth trends that we're seeing within tech, artificial intelligence as well, a good area to play. So look beyond the mega cap growth companies and sort of look at some of the higher quality mid-cap companies as well.
Nadia, Lovell, great to have you on today. UBS Global Wealth Management America Senior Equity Strategist.